today I am demonstrating how to make a window envelope using the message in a bottle downloadable envelope. And the whole thought process behind this was bottles look clear. You can't really send a bottle through the USPS anymore. You can if you want to take it to the counter directly, but they no longer allow you to put them into the blue collection boxes with stamps because they don't like fun, is what I think. So this is a two-dimensional way to get that same sort of effect. I designed this envelope so that it could look like the address label was a bottle, but then I thought, wouldn't it be cool if it was also see-through? So this is how to do that. It looks intimidating, it's not. It's very simple. It's just cutting things out, gluing things on, and folding them. That's it. You can do this. If you can make an envelope, you can make a window envelope. All right, so your first step is you want your tools. You want your printout from the Salvage Patreon of the message in a bottle window envelope. It's got some handy instructions here on the bottom. You can also just watch this video while you make it. You need that. You need some scissors. You need a little X-Acto or a craft knife. You need your glue tape. If you want, you can have a straight edge around. You don't need it, but you can have that. And then you need, not this card, but what you need is that clear packaging that card has come in. And so you can find this stuff all over the place. You can buy it specifically. Clearbags.com is where I would get my bags for my stationery supplies. But I also buy a lot of cards, therefore I have a lot of cellophane sleeves. You can get it off of your food packaging. You can get it out of your own junk mail, out of your own window envelopes. Just rip open one of those envelopes and steal the little clear plastic sheet. Yeah, so that's what you need. That's it. That's all you need. Your first step is going to be to cut out your envelope, which is, y'all know how to do this. I always recommend cutting just inside the outline. That way you don't have any edge showing on your finished product. And if you wanted to be really fussy about it, you could use the straight edge and the craft knife for this part. We'll be fussy on this edge just to demonstrate that edge too. It's the riveting YouTube content of watching someone cut something out of a piece of paper. All right, so you can keep your printout handy there. Oh, weird, it looks like I have something, I have oil on my scissors. I wonder where that came from. I need a different pair of scissors. Okay, different pair of scissors acquired. Look, these ones have, those scissors had oil on them. These ones have sticker stuff stuck on them. As a side note, if you ever want to clean your scissors, just some rubbing alcohol on, paper towel, rubbing alcohol works just fine. All right, so if I wanted to use a craft knife on these edges, I would just align my straight edge, pull down on the craft knife, do it a couple of times. Ta-da. So that's if you feel the need to be incredibly precise, you can do it. Not necessary. No one's gonna know but you. And I find it much easier to do the little rounding edges with scissors as opposed to with a knife. Sometimes I'll just, these are set up on an 8x8 square, the envelopes that I make. And because they're square, I can just take them onto, I have a guillotine paper cutter. I just cut out the squares. All right, so you've got your cut envelope. So now you're going to want to cut out the window space. That's what this little X means. That means we're going to cut that out. Craft knife. And again, you want to go on the outside of those outlines. And again, you want to cut away from yourself. Nice and easy. I find it easiest to draw the blade down, so I'm changing the orientation of the envelope so that I can do that. All right. And if you're still attached anywhere, you can give it a little tug. Should pull free. You might have to go over your lines twice. Just take your time. Window. All right, pretty simple. So one of the things about window envelopes is that you're going to have to make sure that what you put inside your envelope, the address shows through. So one of the ways you can anticipate where that's going to go is if you go ahead and fold up the bottom edge, fold in your sides, and I did design a stationery that has a little space all set up for your address. So you should just be able to slide it in and it'll show through. See, delivery address. But if you don't want to use my stationery, this is the easiest way to figure out how to do this. And so then you have, say this is your card that you're going to put in there. You can go ahead and just slide that in and take a pencil, which I didn't pull out ahead of time, but I happen to have some. And you can just lightly pencil in where that address should go. And so that way you'll know on your piece of stationery where you need to write the address. You can write it in and you can erase your marks if you feel it's necessary. But that'll give you a good indication of where it's going to be. And what I like to do is when I use something that is a little smaller than the inside of the envelope, once I put in my piece of stationery, I'll stick a little piece of washi tape, like I'll stick that in, and you know, it'll slide back and forth. So like, oh no, now it's misaligned. But if you stick it in there and then stick a little piece of washi tape to hold it, you should be good. Okay, so did that little step. Again, that'll just save you a headache when you go to address your envelope. So now we need to make our window. And I found that a 2.5 by 4 inch square did me just fine. And I normally just eyeball it, but I've got a handy dandy thing. I could use my straight edges if I wanted. And you could use just 1/2 of this bag. I'm gonna use the whole thing. I think the extra thickness is just nice. So I've got my square, or rectangle. I'm gonna take my glue tape. I'm gonna put glue tape all around this opening edge. And you can just stick this right on down, but I like to put some tape on the edges. When in doubt, more glue. All right, that's that. That, friends, is a window envelope. You can see the stationery that I designed for it. Let me stick it on in. Easier said than done. Oop, there we go. So the stationery I designed for it has a lightened print of the print for the envelope, so it almost gives the sense of it being, you know, sort of refracting the water, maybe. I'm grasping at straws, but I am pleased with myself. But yeah, that's how you make a window envelope, and how you specifically make the window envelope for this particular download. So I hope you make them. Hope you enjoy it. I like using the clear the most. I had some colored acetate that I use. It's called lighting gel acetate, and you can get it from any art supply store. And it can be fun to make clear envelopes out of and that sort of thing, but I think it's just a little too dark for the windows. So that's why I like using the clear bags here. Let me know if you have any questions. I want to see what you make. Please share. That's the common YouTube refrain is the liking and the subscribing, but you can also support me on Patreon if you're interested in that. Thanks.